You know what I was thinking about the other day? Most people are one paycheck away from not being able to send money home. And you've got family relying on that transfer every month. That's terrifying. I'm 5 months into a layoff. I'm still going to send my parents thousands of dollars this year, and we're not even close. But I'm a first gen daughter who made it out. They don't approve of my lifestyle, but I've got survivor's guilt. And I'm not a monster. And just so you know, by the way, my life is so freaking vanilla. Whatever. The paycheck system can hold what our relationship cannot. So I send the money every month automatically. If you can relate, this is for you. So let's back up a little bit. I grew up low income. I was a free lunch kid, the whole thing, right? And when I was 17 years old, I read this article that said you need at least 10 years of nearly nothing going wrong to escape poverty. So I was like, oh, okay, well, bet. Like, I'm broke now, and I do not want to stay here, like, by any means. So I was like, okay, we gotta put our heads down, we gotta like be focused. And I can't find that article now, but I did find an article by Peter Temin who says you need nearly 20 years of nothing going wrong for you to escape poverty. So, and by the research I've been doing, it seems like he just changed his how he was counting the years. So instead of just looking at middle school and high school, and then you getting into, by the time you're 18 you can get a job and like get out of poverty, he also looks into like secondary, like essentially when you're born all the way up to 18. But I'm glad I interpreted that article, because I was like, at 17 years old I was like, I need 10 years starting like today. But that article is so pivotal in my life, and I can't even find the original. Whatever, maybe I'll reach out to Peter one day. But he got me to like lock in. I went to college, I applied to every single scholarship I could find. When I was in college, I was working part-time as a server while I was a full-time student, and I was able to graduate debt-free. And then when I was 23, I got my first job after college at a nonprofit, and I was making a measly $32,000. They really had us living off of ramen back then. But they would be like, just think of the mission, girl. I need to pay my bills. But years later, I'm 26 years old, and I'm like, ooh, I wonder how much money we've got saved up. It was during the pandemic, and I had nothing else to do. So I was just adding up my accounts, at my retirement accounts, my checking accounts, my savings account. It was a mess, but there was money in different places. And it added up to $60,000. I was shocked. I was like, what? What? Like, I had no idea that there was that much money there, because all I was doing was just saving what I could, sending money back home, and just living in like a scarcity mindset, just survival mindset. So like, it didn't matter how much I saved. That's why I never like calculated it in the beginning. And then, but when I calculated it, added it all up, and I had $60,000, I was dumbfounded. I was like, oh my God, like, I've never had this kind of money in my life before. No one in my family has had that kind of money. And I was like, oh gosh, like, whatever I'm doing, it's working. So like, in that year, I got a different job at a different nonprofit. So I was making a little bit more money. So I was like, I invested all the extra income I was making, and it was a strong stock market year. So then within a year's time, I had $100,000 saved. And these were the moments that it was the first time I've celebrated money wins before. So don't wait that long to celebrate a money win, all right? But I was shocked. like shocked. And just to think, I was able to save $100,000 while only averaging about $45,000 in salary throughout those years. Years later, I'm now 33. I've left the nonprofit world to go briefly into wealth management, and left wealth management to go to fintech to focus on financial education. And then they laid me off less than a year later. It's just the San Francisco trope, right? Whatever. It sucks. But because I was able to set up a system way back when, I was able to get myself a good enough cushion to take some risks and be okay, even though I've got zero income essentially right now, but I'm still sitting on $500,000, right? And let me tell you, when I was working in wealth management, the people I would help manage their portfolio for were millionaires, were multi-millionaires, and most of them didn't fully understand their money either. It's why they paid us. So if you're feeling like you're bad with money or you don't know what your next steps are, you're not behind, you're not dumb, you're not bad with money, okay? These clients just had the money to pay someone to essentially give them a done-for-you system. They're not paying for some super secret genius plan or money formula. They're paying for a done-for-them system. And listen, if you've got complicated money, like a house, another house, a business, a trust, millions of dollars, yeah, having someone manage that can make a lot of sense. And it can absolutely be worth it. But for like 95% of us, our money's not that complicated. And you're smart enough today to get your money to work for you. And this is what no one tells you about hitting your money goals. Even after that $60,000 moment, I still felt fucking scared. The scarcity mindset, it didn't leave when the money showed up. Like, okay, yeah, I've got some money in the bank, but what happens if I lose it? What if I lose it all and there's a family emergency and my parents need it? It was always like a, what if I go back to living how I grew up? And I was like, we're not ever gonna go back there, okay? The money was there, the fear was there too. And for a long time, I thought the fear was just me, like I'm the broken one. I have the money, why was I still scared? What is wrong with me? But then I started paying attention, and every first gen daughter I knew, every single one. Oh, sorry, I sprained my foot, so it's like uncomfortable to sit. Anyways. But yeah, I would talk, every single first gen daughter I knew, every single one was carrying limiting beliefs, had scarcity mindset. Like, I literally got off a Zoom call with a group of Asian women, like highly successful C-suite level women who are still working through this shit. This was passed down to us. An old school money rule is more than happy to uphold it. But here's what I want you to understand, because this is the part that took me a long time to see. No one expects us to build wealth. We are going to do it anyways. Society gave us save more, cut coupons, spend less, let your husband take care of the money. That will keep you in survival mode. Survival mode steals your choices. That's the whole point. If you're broke, you can't be picky about where you work. You can't leave a bad relationship. You can't move. You can't take months off. You can't survive a layoff to figure out what you want to do next. You have to take the job. You stay in the city. You stay with the person, because the alternative, you lose everything. And old school money rules likes you that way. A scared, tired, broke worker is a controllable worker. That's not an accident. That's the whole design. We were never meant to build wealth, not in their eyes. We're going to do it anyways. So yeah, I'm 5 months into a layoff, 5 months, and I'm being so picky about my next career steps. I'm not panic applying, and I'm not gonna lie that I'm not like nervous about it. Like there is like scarcity and like a chaotic nervous system still that I'm working through, but there is definitely growth, right? I'm not taking the first thing that comes through. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. Like, absolutely pat myself on the back for that. Because I remember the last time I was seriously looking for a job, like depression and me, we were roommates. So there's absolute growth. That, and I have more money now. I have a cushion. I have an emergency fund. I have investments that are still growing while I'm not earning. I've got a husband. I've got time. That's what wealth bought me. Not a Range Rover, not a vacation home, not a second vacation home. Time. It bought me time to be choosy. So yeah, I guess money does buy happiness. And look, I know I'm in such a privileged position to even be doing this work, to even have the time to notice the trauma, to work through the trauma. I was able to graduate college debt free. I don't have any student loans. I'm pretty healthy. I've got a supportive partner. I have an emergency fund built before I needed it. I've got $500,000 in the bank. Most first gen daughters don't get the runway to even ask the questions I'm working through right now. They're too busy surviving. So I'm not telling you any of this as a flex. I'm telling you because I want to bring you with me. That's the whole reason I'm here. Here's what I want for you. I want you to be able to send the money back home and not check your account right afterwards. I want you to be able to leave the job you hate without panicking about rent. I want you to be able to take 3 months off while life gets weird and not have it ruin you. I want you to be choosy. I want you to have the kind of money that lets you make decisions based on what's best for you, not what your employer lets you do. So, how do you actually start? I'll tell you what I did, and I'll tell you what to take from it. When I started my first job after college, I set up an automatic transfer the day I got my paycheck. Start with $25 savings, start with $50, whatever you can do. As you make more, save more, invest more. Trust me, it adds up. I didn't track what I was saving and investing. I didn't budget. I just made sure the money was put to work before I could spend it. That's the whole invisible money method in one sentence. The money working in the background is the money you actually keep. Automate the moment your paycheck hits. The second your paycheck lands, your money should already have somewhere to go. A piece to high yield savings account, like your emergency fund, your house fund, your travel fund, whatever you're going to be spending in the next 2 to 3 years goes into your high yield savings account. Then I want you to send a piece to retirement, your Roth IRA, your 401k, and a piece to whatever your next goal is. I have a fund that's called Bish I Quit Fund. So, and yeah, that's the actual name. It is exactly what it sounds like. And yeah, I did use that fund about a year ago. Add friction between you and the money you want to keep. Your high yield savings should not be at the same bank as your checking. Different bank, make it annoying to access, and then you won't spend it on a random night out. I've got an automatic transfer from my checking account going to my parents' account. It goes every month, same day, same amount. I don't think about it. I don't agonize about it. I don't wait for them to ask for it. And I don't ask them what they spend it on either, right? Because I figured out something important. The system can hold what our relationship can't. Maybe one day it'll get better, but not now. I don't have to be close to them to take care of them. I don't have to call them every week. I don't have to perform a relationship I don't have. The transfer goes, my sense of obligation gets honored, my peace stays intact. So, yeah, I'm 5 months into a layoff. My bank account is fine. I'm still sending money every month. We're still not close. They still don't approve of my lifestyle, of my vanilla lifestyle. And I'm okay. Like, all of those things can be true at once. That's what wealth bought me. The ability to hold all of that without it crushing me. Remember when I said most people are one paycheck away from not being able to send money home? I'm not part of that group anymore, and I want that for all of us. And if you're sitting there thinking, I want that too, I want to be choosy, I want to take care of my family without it eating me alive, I want to be 5 months into something hard and still be okay, then the first move is the paycheck routine. Watch the full invisible money method walkthrough next. It's the one that matters most. Also, my free wealth guide is linked in the description. You can find it at wealthwahidah.vercel.app. Watch the video and go through the wealth guide at the same time because it walks you through the whole setup, the accounts, the order, the percentages, everything I wish someone handed me at 20 years old. And that's how we're gonna close the wealth gap. Society never meant for us to build wealth. We're gonna do it anyways. Get rich and stay ungovernable. I will see you next week, friends.